Hi. Do you remember my first job that was in on Azbegi Avenue? So my second job was here. Right there. I got some cool steak. So here, and I was a waiter. And just like in the previous job, I had a cool friend there, also a waiter. There was one very indifferent personnel and low-key bitch cooks, middle-aged cooks who were like super sassy and low-key bullies. So here, after this cafe's name was Segafredo Zanetti, and then there was KFC, and now there is coffee shop called Mikel. I've never been there, and I don't know what kind of coffee they have. Interestingly, many years after, I stayed here in this apartment for a few nights before I moved to my another apartment, and I think it was right this one, and I spent here a few nights, and it was very interesting experience because it was first time that I spent a few days of my life in the very center of the city. So this is very central area, and it was very interesting. So yeah, this was my second job, and I had a very hard time memorizing menu, and I was kind of indifferent. I wasn't really interested to be a good waiter. So eventually, I think I stayed there for a few months, maybe even 2, and then I just moved in another job, and I'll show you my another job. Lots of people. So today is Sunday, and there are lots of people around. Lots of Russian people as well. Maybe 8 out of 10 Russian-speaking individuals, which is very interesting and which has become normal after the war, because lots of Russians arrived, as you already know, to live in Georgia with families or IT specialists who work remotely. So yeah, this was my second, and the third was on the Liberty Square. But before Liberty Square, we might check out my university, and maybe I can sneak in. And you could still go. So it's getting more and more springy, and I get more and more allergy. So this area has been like this and has been under construction for years, for decades, and now you see this interesting something. I don't know what it is, but I think it's getting some form. And it's looking very weird. This was also my university building that I used to have lectures. And also there was another building, but you couldn't see because it's not on the way. You have to go inside the buildings. It almost looks like apartment building. I don't know what is happening, but there are lots of international students today on Sunday. There is some celebration, I think, connected to Tbilisi State University, TSU. So I don't know. Maybe I'll ask around what's going on. I don't know. Because usually students who are from India, they usually study in medical university. But I think Tbilisi State University also have medical studies, and maybe they are okay, so I think they are attendees because I saw the cards hanging. Maybe they are attending some conference. Okay, so let's enter the university territory. This is some nice courtyard, but not much happening here. But I like the architecture. Yeah, I'm gonna use my magic wand to show you around. I would have liked to climb on that ladder, but I can't. So yeah, this is the courtyard, and sometimes students come here to smoke, and yeah, rectangular. There is another courtyard we're gonna check out. This is the second one, which is more user-friendly because you have benches to sit and have some coffee and maybe smoke a cigarette, because in Georgia lots of people smoke cigarettes. We have this statue. საქართველოს თავისუფლებისთვის დაღუპულ უნივერსიტეტის სტუდენტთა და თანამშრომელთა ხსოვნის მემორიალი. This memorial is here for people, for students and staff, professors who died for the independence of Georgia. I feel like I'm in the box. Well, I am in the box, technically, without ceiling. Okay, we entered the building. Success. This is Center for Scandinavian Studies, and I took Norwegian classes here, but I was not really in the mood for Norwegian, and I failed. Although we had super cute Norwegian professor and also Georgian assistant, and yeah, the atmosphere was very good, but I was not really in the right headspace for the new language. Although there were some really motivated students who successfully covered these classes, and then they went in Norway. Some of them stayed there, some of them returned, but yeah, they tied close connections with Norway. Yeah. I chose international relations when I started my studies in this university, and I spent one semester here, and then my father didn't pay for my studies on the first year. It's normal in Georgia it was in my days, for parents to cover the studies. And then I started working to collect some money, and I didn't continue on the second semester. And on the first semester, I studied on international relations. I also had some courses, philosophy courses, and some other existentialism, and like very humanitarian subjects. But yeah, it was soon. Then I just quit my studies, and then I went to Europe for almost 2 years. And then I'll tell you another story. What happened after I came back from Europe. The very first impression of the university was not super good. I was a little bit disappointed because I was hoping that university life would have been much more fun, interesting, or like high quality. But in reality, I was not really happy with the professors and with professionalism of some of the professors. So I vividly remember this sense of disappointment. There were lots of students around me, and then soon after I left for Europe, some important political processes started, and the root was students' movement. And these students were my ex-classmates on the first year. But I quit, I didn't stay here, so we lost our ties. Maybe for the best. I don't think I've ever been here. I think once. Because this is... Wow, we have some good finds today. So yeah, this is really old. Like this bricks. They are restored, but still very old. We have a museum in the first building, So if I manage, I really want to check out that museum. As I remember, they have very interesting stuff there, like archive and stuff. What is this? Just ventilation system? No clue. There is always something interesting underground. So let's see what we got here. Usually there are some equipments for students for studying physics or biology and stuff. But it always looks so abandoned. And I don't know where these tunnels lead. That's very cinematic. I mean, cameras are watching me, so if they have any problems, they will let me know. Okay, what we got here? The entry to get to the first building. But the door is closed. Damn, it is super dark here. Like right now, I have no idea where am I. I've never been here. Okay, someone had a lunch here. So quiet. Let's see if this door. No, it's not open. Well, I was always curious of nuclear physics department. I always thought that they were working on some badass projects like black holes and like quantum mechanics and shit. Maybe they do work on that shit. Secretly. But these experiments and stuff they used to do, it always intrigued me. But I was not good in math, or maybe I had shitty teachers in math and physics, and that's why I didn't fall in love with these subjects. Because in my family, they are all in medicine and technical studies, you know. So I'm kind of like, I'm sure that I must have some talent in math and in technical subjects. It just didn't got realized. But I'm really happy whatever I chose, this humanitarian subjects. I'm really happy with my choice. Everything happens for a reason. This is giving a horror film. Like a fucking zombie land situation. And I love this, like this underground. And now here you have a hiking club, TSU. TSU. Like they have the office here. Listen to this. This sound is sick. Okay, I think our tour in Hades is finished, and I really want to go in the first building. Scientific Educational Laboratory of Atomic Physics. So this is the building number 1, like first building of the university.
You guys joining me for the workshop? So is the door in the middle?
And this is the founder of this university, Ivane Javakhishvili, and it's 150 years of anniversary of this beautiful gentleman. His decision to start this university was truly historical. Let's try if they will let old TSU students enter this building and just check out some gallery or museum. Hello. This is the photo that was taken by Ivane Javakhishvili. Anastasia Jambakur Orvelian. Da Mariam Wacht Angesasule. So this is Ivane Javakhishvili's book, the chapters from his book from 1909. This is also Photo taken by Ivane Javakhishvili, the founder of this university. This is children of Ivane Javakhishvili, also photo taken by him. This is Tbilisi, eastern part of Georgia. This is also another historical photo taken by Ivane. This is also a noble woman from early 20s. I think I'm lucky because security didn't check me. Wow, look at this face. Look at this face. This book from 1930, the history of Georgian economics, history of Georgian law. And yeah, I'm still with my wand. Like I'm in Hogwarts. Gia Abashidze. I do not know anything about this person. This is not a museum or a gallery, by the way. This is just temporary exhibition at the entrance. This book is saying the history of Georgian nation. History of Georgian nation. This is Javakhishvili's book, a chapter, our tasks in language science, linguistics, Georgian linguistics, and cultural history of culture field. Old map of Georgia. Tbilisi. Here we have Kutaisi. I cannot find Tbilisi. Must be somewhere. The map of Georgian Republic from 1922. Oh yeah, I remember I used to have lectures in antique philosophy in one of these rooms, and there was this girl, and she was so good with antique philosophy. She would like absorb this information from books and she would analyze it. And she was like naturally born philosopher. Like she was so good in the critical thinking and comparing and all this stuff. I was like so shocked, and I was low-key jealous too because again on my first year I was completely not mentally ready to start either Norwegian classes nor antique philosophy. It was too much work, and I was too my brain was too busy to like focus on this kind of stuff. And you could tell because I didn't really pass exams, and basically this first semester was just like fucking around. Herbs, House, Capricorn, some rune symbols, and a snake. And some silly stuff from students. Those texts were anti-governmental texts. Oops. Because students were historically the main fuel for political changes in this country. Sometimes they were used, they were exploited, their fresh enthusiasm most of the time was exploited by the older politicians, but yeah, even in my days, there were several pretty serious student movement, but then it was crushed. It got crushed. And well, some of them started working for the government. Some people betrayed their morale and principles. Culture department. And I can hear and I can really hear the traditional dance music. This is getting interesting. Oh fuck, it's closed. Unfortunately, we cannot attend this concert. Would have been very interesting. Well, we found Museum of Archaeology, but it's closed. There are some artifacts discovered probably by the students of this university. Here we have. I love how museum is written, museum, and the first letter isn't even caps like the big one. Great. Oh, the globe. I think this was on the top of the building and they removed North America, South America, Antarctica. Where's Australia? Oh yeah, we cannot find Sakartvelo. Earth is cute. Very cute. And wet. Let's go downstairs. They really need to clean these windows. They are dirty as fuck. Now I'm just thinking where to go. Should I show you my third job location, or should I do it next time? Maybe next time. So there was this one near Liberty Square, and then there was another one. And after that, then I left for Germany. That's an interesting story. Actually, I don't know why am I sharing these stories, but maybe we will figure it out eventually. At some point. We will understand in the process. We'll figure it out in the process. It's just following the urges. It's not even an urge, or maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I think that's it for today.